All right, thank you very much, Secretary Vilsack. On behalf of OTA, the board, all of our members and the OTA industry, we just really appreciate your support and everything you do for the organic industry throughout USDA, so thank you so much. It's my great pleasure to introduce our next speaker. It's not often that you get the Madam Chairwoman of the Senate Ag Committee to come speak, and more or less actually come to speak at our Organic Trade Association. So she was born in Gladwin and raised in Clare. Debbie Stabenow knows what matters to Michigan. Elected to the United States Senate in 2000, she was respected for her ability to build coalitions to get things done for Michigan and our nation. As chair of the Senate Ag Committee and a member of the Senate Energy, Finance, and Budget Committees, she has a powerful and unique role to play in shaping our nation's manufacturing, healthcare, and agricultural policies, which are so critical to our future. As a chairwoman of the Senate Ag Committee, she hosted field hearings in Michigan on the Farm Bill, the first such hearing since 1915. Keeping our food safe and our children healthy has been a top priority for Senator Stabenow. She developed legislation to help producers and processors comply with the new FDA food safety regulations. She also co-authored the original fruit and vegetable snack program in the 2002 Farm Bill, made it permanent in the 2004 Child Nutrition Reauthorization, and expanded it nationwide in the 2008 Farm Bill. Her leadership on the Agriculture Committee has led to a historic new focus on ag research, Michigan specialty crops, the development of renewable fuels, and critical land, habitat, and water conservation efforts. Madam Chairwoman, a special congratulations today on passing a Farm Bill through committee. And I would like to thank you on behalf of OTA and all the organic industry, all of our members in here, for your role championing organic priorities in the Farm Bill, in particular Senator Bennett's amendment for organic research and promotion order. And I also have to say our OTA staff just really loves working with your staff. So it has been a pleasure, and please help me welcome Senator Debbie Stabenow.
My pleasure. Well, good afternoon, and thank you, Matt. I can't think of a better way to spend time celebrating that we got a Farm Bill with an organic check off. So instead of got milk, it'll be got organics. Is that what it is? That's so. Oh, so I am so grateful also to the Secretary for his, I don't know if I think he probably has left now, but we work as partners. He's been a wonderful partner, and we're very lucky to have Secretary Vilsack. And Matt, your leadership, Christine Bushway, and Miles McAvoy, who's here as Deputy Administrator of the National Organic Program, and Stan Hazen is with Regulatory Affairs for NSF International, all the people that are here, Michigan people that are here. Did I see that Mohammed was here? Great to see you. Herbert's, eggs. Yes, we got to make sure that we are promoting all the wonderful work that you are doing. And I have to bring greetings. I was on the phone on the way over telling my friend Walter Robb that we had gotten the check off. He just can stop calling me now. And he's actually in Detroit, and I have to brag for a minute about Walter. And we have a wonderful partnership right now, and Whole Foods coming to Detroit, not the suburbs, into the city. 72% of the people that they are hiring, and they're going to be opening a store now in just a couple of weeks, are city residents, so this is jobs. We have a wonderful community effort and advisory committee that he has put together. We have a wonderful, I think the oldest farmers market in the country, Eastern Market, that is being expanded and is providing the fresh fruits and vegetables. And so I just want to say thank you to Walter. He's going to help us turn Detroit around, and I'm really proud about that. So, and one more thank you, last but not least, my awesome, awesome staff. And in the area of specialty crops and organics, this is led by Jacqueline Snyder, who's right over here. Thank you, Jacqueline, for all of your efforts. So, Let me just start by saying that whenever I'm talking about the Farm Bill, which is, by the way, much more, it's a euphemism to say Farm Bill, with 12 different titles from commodities, specialty crops, organics, energy, rural development, conservation, trade. I mean, this is a huge, huge bill. But the impact is on 16 million jobs, and you're helping to grow more of them every single year. I don't know of a bigger jobs bill than what we call the Farm Bill. And so I'm really pleased with the fact that we've been able to get it out of committee again. I said I've done 2 times. If they ask me a 3rd time, I'm jumping off a building somewhere. So we've done this 2 times now. And Senator Reid, because of the significance of it, is immediately taking it up on the floor, which is great news for us. And I want to thank Senator Reid for doing it. Immediately, it's going to the floor. And he also understands 16 million jobs. The only area of our economy where we actually have a trade surplus is in agriculture. And so there's a lot of important piece of this. And organics, as you know, fastest growing sector of American agriculture. So you're where it's growing. And I know you know this, but it's always good to mention the numbers. Over 18,000 farms, processing facilities, 240% increase since 2002, last 10 years. There's no other part of agriculture. No, I don't know any other part of the economy that has grown by 240%. This is a big deal. When we look at the numbers, I remind my colleagues all the time, in 1990, organic food and beverage sales was $1 billion. 2011, it was over $29 billion. Again, I don't know other parts of the economy that have been growing because of consumer demand. When we look at the fact that for every $1 billion in retail sales, we're adding 21,000 more jobs, and I see everything through the prism of jobs. I have to tell you, coming from Michigan, who 5 short years ago had the highest unemployment rate in the country, and because we make things and grow things, and I don't think you have an economy unless you make things and grow things, you know, we're coming out of it. But organics is a part of that, is a very important part of that. In 2010, the organic food sector was responsible for generating more than 500,000 American jobs. And you need to be very, very proud about that and speak about that. So you know what we've done, but I want to just briefly go through it. We start with the specialty crop title. I've been on the Agriculture Committee ever since I was in the U.S. House. Actually, when I was in Michigan legislature, I was on the Agriculture Committee. Came in 1997 in the House, nothing being done for specialty crops or organics at that time, and fought like crazy and was able to get just a tiny foot in the door to study specialty crops as a possible crop insurance item. And then we went on to the next bill when I was elected to the Senate, and we did the fresh fruit and vegetable program as a pilot with Senator Harkin and I, and began to talk about specialty crops and so on, until we got to 2008, where I was very proud to author the first time separate title for specialty crops. Now, you would have thought I was asking the world to come to an end by adding a new title of the Farm Bill for fresh fruits and vegetables and organics and other specialty crops. But, and I had to literally lay down the road. I mean, it was an incredible fight to get this. Not subsidies, nobody's asking for subsidies. You know, just promotion, research, you know, some other kinds of things to help grow this part of the economy. But we got it done. And the great news for me personally is that in this Farm Bill, we aren't fighting about taking it out. In fact, in the House of Representatives, in order to get the support of some of the members, the Democratic members, particularly on the committee, that as they're marking up tomorrow, they actually put more money in than we did in the Senate. And this is great. I love a bidding war on specialty crop title. So this is wonderful because it's totally flipped for us. And that's great news for us going into a conference committee as well. I love to be in a bidding war, and they're welcome to put additional dollars in there. But in our Farm Bill, we have tripled the funding for local foods, for farmers markets, which are growing at such a fast rate. We've expanded authority to fund local food hubs, distribution centers, also very important. We've increased funding for block grants, giving the states the ability to look at special areas, including organic specialty producers, and develop specific programs through block grants. We've strengthened access to local foods by improving data collection and evaluation by the USDA, which is going to benefit both producers and consumers. And we are continuing specialty crop research as a permanent part of the Farm Bill. Specifically on organics, as you know, most of the organic programs expired and were not renewed when the January 1 end of the year tax deal was done. I was extremely angry about that. Most colleagues said they'd never seen me angry before, and I was on the floor extremely angry. The Republican leader in the Senate blocked us from continuing the entire Farm Bill and basically left out most of what was important for specialty crops and organics and some of the research provisions as well. And so, you know, we're not doing that again. We're just absolutely not doing that again. And so that's the reason we've got to get this Farm Bill done and get it passed and get it through the House and get it signed, because we run up to a deadline again on September 30th, and we cannot do that again. So we are restoring all of those parts of funding for organics. We reauthorized the National Organic Program. We increased the funding to $75 million over 5 years, and that is compared with $11 million that's in the House committee mark, so big difference in that area. We provide mandatory funding, guaranteed funding, for technology upgrades to the National Organic Program for more efficiency and effectiveness. And we give the USDA increased enforcement over the organic seal, the label, so people can't misrepresent their product as organic. We also fund the Organic Research and Extension Initiative for the next 5 years and continue data collection on organics to develop new organic products and make sure that risk management tools are working for you. And we have moved forward on crop insurance. In fact, we expand in the Farm Bill crop insurance options for fruit and vegetable producers and direct the USDA to improve the crop insurance for organic products. And this is going to be a very important ongoing effort for us as we develop into crop insurance as the main risk management tool in agriculture. As I mentioned earlier, we have given organic producers the ability to construct your own checkoff program to meet the needs of the organic sector. It is in the bill as it goes to the floor. I don't know if there'll be an amendment to strike it. We've got to watch it closely. I don't think it will be specifically because of organics. There was you know, a lot of politics around checkoffs a couple of years ago. I don't know if you followed it closely, but the Christmas tree folks wanted to do a checkoff, and some of the real right-wingers called it an attack on Christmas. And so I'm not sure what they would call this, but we just have to watch it closely. So I don't know what this would be an attack on, but you never know that, because folks are pretty creative. So so we just need to watch it closely. And I think we're okay, but you never know. We also have opened all the conservation programs to organic producers and assure equal access to things like EQIP, the Environmental Quality Incentives Program, and the Conservation Stewardship Program in coordination with the Organic Certification Program. More broadly, let me just say in conclusion, this really is a reform bill. This is my 4th Farm Bill, and things happen in steps. You know, if I were doing this all by myself, there would be some different things that we would be doing. But we have moved this bill over time in the right direction. We have more investment in specialty crops, more investment in organics, more investment in local food systems. We also have more reforms. We are eliminating direct payments, which is the one subsidy that goes out regardless of whether it's a good time, a bad time, high price, low prices, folks getting a government check. We're not doing that anymore and saving billions of dollars in the process. And in fact, we have well over $23 billion in savings in agriculture, which is more than any other sector of the economy, and we've done that by basically reviewing every part of the Farm Bill, what's important, what should be funded, what shouldn't be funded, what works, what doesn't work, what duplicates something else. That's actually what we ought to do in every part of government. And we've eliminated 100 different programs or authorizations or combined them, like in the area of conservation, where we've gone from 23 programs to 13 and put them into 4 flexible areas. A lot of flexibility, a lot of local partnerships, local control, and save dollars while strengthening conservation. And the one piece that we've added in this bill that took a lot of work, and it was a really, I think, is a historic coming together of partnership, is the farm commodity groups and the environmental and conservation groups have come together to support adding conservation compliance to crop insurance, which means every part of our commodity programs will have conservation compliance tied to it. This is a big deal. It's a really important thing. So now it's just on to getting this done in the Senate. We want to make sure that we keep all the reforms that we have, and that we then move to the House and a conference committee. We're going to need your help, frankly, in conference committee to make sure the things that you care about, that we all care about together, stay in that bill. There will be a lot of pressure to go in a different direction on funding. And so we need to stand united. I am looking forward to working with you on that. This is a bill that is more progressive. Certainly a lot more we can do, but this is more progressive, I would argue, than any bill we have had to date. It has more reforms in it. It moves us in the right direction. And we're just going to keep on moving to reflect what is the future of agriculture. And certainly all of you are at the front of the line. So thanks very much. So thank you very much. Yeah, thanks. I think we have time. I know they're going to be calling votes at 5 o'clock, but I think I have time for a couple of questions if you want to do that. Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming today.
Sure.
My name is John Fogarty with National Cooperative Grocers Association. If at a really appreciate your perspective on specialty crops. If you, at a future junction, get the opportunity, we would appreciate any sort of parity in funding between the two EQIP programs that could be dialed into this or future legislation. Just wanted to say that,
Sure.
but again, thank you for all your work on the specialty crop area. It's very important to
Absolutely.
retailers all across the country.
We're moving in that direction, but we're going to just keep moving, keep pushing in that direction. So, yes. Yes, sir.
Again, just echo everyone's thanks for your leadership in moving this farm bill forward, and hope we can keep it moving. One thing you didn't touch on, just want a quick question, the CRP Transition Incentives Program, did that get included and funded?
It is. We did, yes, it is in there. We also, overall, there's about 10 million acres coming out of CRP this year. We don't anticipate all of those coming back in. So we did reduce down somewhat the number, the acreage cap, because that's money we're going to lose anyway, and we wanted to count that as savings in conservation, so we didn't have to cut something else, frankly. So, but yes, I believe that that is still, Jacqueline's, I believe that that is still in there, yes.
Thank you.
Senator, thank you for coming. We are proud of you in Michigan. I thank you for everything you did for Michigan and for the nation and for the farmers
Thank
in
you.
United States. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. Thank you. You know, let me just say, I'm really proud of Herbrooks and all of our egg producers in Michigan. One of my disappointments to date is we have not been able to place the agreement with the egg producers in the Humane Society into the legislation. We'll continue to work with you to see how we can get that done. We did not have the votes in committee to do it, even though there was a huge push to get it done. But I'm still very cognizant of the fact that something needs to be done to support our producers. So, thank you. All right. Oh,
One last question.
Well, I can't thank you enough for your work and your leadership, and all of us feel the same way. I guess the one question that I have on the Farm Bill, certainly in you in Michigan, with the amount of unemployed people and people on nutrition benefits, I was worried about the SNAP cuts that are excessive in the House, and I'm sure you'll give us the figure that wound up in the committee, Mark. But
yes.
and also incentives at farmers markets, you know, whether or not it'll help specialty crop competitiveness out of the nutrition dollars instead of out of specialty crop dollars, enabling those most in need to access fruits and vegetables easier at farmers markets.
Yes. First of all, let me say we have in the nutrition title added the what we call a Michigan Double Up Bucks program for people to be able to receive double the value of their nutrition benefit by buying fresh fruits and vegetables at farmers markets. It has worked so well in Michigan, and I know other places as well, and this would take it nationwide. So that's very important. And we do some other things as well in the nutrition title. This is going to be one of our toughest fights, obviously, with the House. I mean, in the Ryan Republican budget, they cut about $150 billion out of nutrition programs, and then block granted it and sent it to the states without a requirement that you use it for food assistance. And I don't know how many people think their state would use it for food assistance. I know I have great concerns about our state at this point. So we are not sure the exact number of what the House committee is going to do. We had to do something in order to be able to get a bill, and so we went after what I view as potential concerns about fraud and abuse, things that Republicans have held up to us. For instance, in Michigan, we've had 2 different cases of a lottery winner that remained on food assistance. So we wrote into the bill, you win the lottery, you don't need to get food assistance. So we've gone through all these things that have been in the paper, you know, where there have been abuses, and put that in. And also there's some issues around retail sales with people turning in their SNAP card, getting cash, buying drugs or other things. And so we've gone after the retail abuse end of things. And then the one that is the most difficult has been a connection between someone who gets heating assistance and food, where a few states, including my own, have basically, to help people get more food help, have said if you get $1 of LIHEAP, you get this full deduction on heating assistance, whether you have a full heating assistance bill or not. It helps people, but it's very, very hard to justify. And so in order to keep that program, we upped it from $1 to 10. You have to have at least $10 in utility costs in order to be able to get that connection. We did that, frankly, to save the program, because the Republicans are coming after that program to completely eliminate the connection. But all of the areas of fraud and abuse that we've addressed, or misuse in this case, added up to about $4 billion over 10 years. Now, that's 150 in the Ryan budget, 4 in our. I thought that was a pretty good deal that we were able to get that over 10 years. And that's not to say I would not have preferred to have that be a $4 billion increase, because I would have, or more, in terms of assistance for folks that really need it. But given the climate that we are in, we did this in a way that will allow us to be able to keep the debate about misuse or about fraud or waste, and not about people who really need help. The other reality is that the nutrition title is actually going down in expense because of the economy. Things are getting a little better, so fewer people need help. The food assistance, or SNAP as we call it now, supplemental nutrition assistance, is tied to need. So economy gets better, cost goes down. It gets worse, cost goes up. Last several years went up because of what was happening in the economy. Over the next 10 years, it's projected to go down. So I've equated that to crop insurance, because on crop insurance, bad times, disaster, costs go up. No disaster, costs go down. So what I've said is, okay, you want to do something over here on nutrition, well, I'm going to do it to crop insurance too. Because if we are going to cap families who have a disaster, you know, it's not fair to say a family disaster is treated differently than a farm disaster. And so I've been able so far to be able to move things by arguing it that way. People see that it is, in fact, about disasters. And we don't want a lottery winner getting it. We don't want people ripping off the system. We don't want a retailer ripping off the system. We want to deal with that. But if somebody has paid taxes all their lives and lost their job and needs some temporary help to put food on the table for their family, you bet that's what it's for. And we as Americans should be proud that we do that for families. So.
Yep. So we have one last quick statement.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Kelly Shea with White Wave Foods. Madam Chairwoman, I love to say that. I just wanted to share, I've worked in agriculture for over 25 years, and it makes me so proud to see you up there as Chairwoman of the Senate Ag Committee. It's very, very inspiring. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for all your support and help.